Hello everyone, and welcome to my Sister Wives Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. From the moment Robyn Brown entered the Sister Wives family dynamic, fans were intrigued by her presence. She was younger, empathetic, and soft-spoken, and she seemed to give the plural marriage of Kody Brown and his three other wives, Meri, Janelle, and Christine, a new lease on life. But what initially seemed like the addition of a new partner quickly evolved into something much darker and divisive, one that would forever alter the course of the Brown family. Over the years, viewers and insiders have increasingly come to believe that Robyn's unchecked ambition and subtle manipulation, disguised as vulnerability, became the catalyst for the slow erosion of trust, unity, and ultimately the financial well-being of the entire Brown empire. Her alleged greed didn't just hurt relationships, it effectively destroyed the family's dream of luxury, equality, and collective wealth. As the other wives were forced to downsize, struggle, or walk away empty-handed, Robyn and Kody settled comfortably into a nearly $900,000 mansion, cementing her role as the queen of a crumbling kingdom built on favoritism and financial imbalance. At first, the shift was sluggish. In the early seasons of Sister Wives, Robyn presented herself as someone eager to fit in, expressing deep respect for the other wives and constantly talking about sisterhood. But as time went on, fans began noticing discrepancies between what Robyn said and what she did. Robyn gradually removed herself from shared responsibilities as Christine, Janelle, and Meri worked tirelessly to care for the children, contribute financially, and construct a communal family life. She was frequently absent from group decisions, emotionally overwhelmed by family discussions, and often required more attention from Kody than anyone else. Also, Kody? He gladly gave it. From the moment Robyn entered his life, it was clear that his priorities began to shift. His requirements grew out of hers. Her children were suddenly the most important. And her vision of the family dynamic, a monogamous marriage disguised as polygamy, began to override the original plural model that had, despite its flaws, functioned for over a decade. But Robyn's influence didn't stop at emotional manipulation. Over time, she began steering major financial decisions, often with Kody's full backing, at the expense of the other wives. One of the most glaring examples was the home purchases in Flagstaff. While Janelle was living in an RV on Coyote Pass, braving freezing winters and isolation in hopes of building a home on the shared land, and Christine was renting and saving up for her eventual escape, Robyn and Kody made a luxury real estate purchase, a sprawling mansion complete with multiple bedrooms, a private office, top-tier security features, and plenty of space for only their immediate family. Fans were furious. How could they afford such a home when the family was supposedly struggling financially? Why was Robyn granted this level of comfort while the other wives were forced to live in temporary, unstable, or minimalist conditions? The answer many fans and insiders believe lies in Robyn's insatiable greed and her ability to convince Kody that her lifestyle needs were superior. Where Christine and Janelle were willing to sacrifice for the family, to live modestly, to pool resources, Robyn insisted on more privacy, more money, more Kody. And every time she demanded it, Kody enabled her. In order to cover her expenses, he shifted the budget. He prioritized her children's needs. He used the family's pooled income, originally meant to support all wives equally, to secure her home, her lifestyle, and her emotional stability. Slowly, the other wives began to see the writing on the wall. The dream of plural marriage had become a monogamous relationship with three shadow wives orbiting around it, providing labor, support, and income with none of the benefits. Christine was the first to break. She had given decades of her life to Kody, raised his children, and received nothing in return but distance, judgment, and an unspoken rule. Robyn comes first. Her decision to leave, while framed as personal, was also deeply tied to this financial inequality. She knew she would never get the same attention, resources, or future if she stayed. And when she left without the luxury she deserved. She had to rebuild from scratch. No mansion, no payout, no security. But what she gained was freedom. Janelle, ever the realist, held on a little longer. She had invested in the Coyote Pass property and genuinely believed in building something for her children and grandchildren. But even she couldn't ignore the stark contrast between her modest trailer life and Robyn's castle in the hills. She too began to speak out, questioning where the money was going, why progress had stalled, and whether there was still a place for her in a system so clearly tilted toward one woman's comfort. Her slow disillusionment became one of the show's most heartbreaking storylines, as viewers watched a strong, practical woman realize that years of loyalty had earned her little more than cold nights and broken promises. The most tragic story, perhaps, is Meri's. She had been with Cody the longest. She was his legal wife until he divorced her to legally marry Robyn and adopt her children. Even after that gut-wrenching blow, she stayed, hoping for reconciliation, redemption, or at least recognition. But it never came. Cody, emboldened by his alliance with Robyn, made it clear he had no romantic or emotional connection to Meri anymore. And Robyn, though she claimed to value Meri, did little to include or uplift her. Meri, too, came to the conclusion that the family was no longer united. It was Robyn and Cody at the center, and everyone else on the outskirts. When Meri finally stepped away, she did so with grace, but like Christine and Janelle, without luxury. No mansion, no big settlement. Just years of effort, pain, and silence. All the while, Robyn remained silent on the inequality. She continued living in comfort, rarely speaking out about the disparities or acknowledging the sacrifices the other women had made. Instead, she doubled down on her image as the misunderstood, emotional, faithful wife. But fans weren't buying it. Social media erupted with criticism, calling her out for her role in the downfall of the family. She was labeled manipulative, entitled, and the real villain of the show. Reddit threads broke down timelines, financial decisions, and emotional interactions to prove that Robyn's greed, masked as helplessness, had single-handedly destroyed the balance of the Brown family. And the saddest part? She got the mansion, the monogamy, and the legal marriage she wanted. However, at what cost? The luxury that once existed for all the wives, a sense of shared purpose, financial unity, and emotional partnership, was gone. Robyn's desire for exclusivity, stability, and elevation above the others shattered the foundation the family was built on. What once was a shared dream became a nightmare of favoritism and inequality. And now, as the dust settles, Cody and Robyn find themselves alone, unified in their isolation. The other wives have moved on. They may not have mansions, but they have something far greater: self-respect, independence, and the support of a fanbase that sees them as the true heroes of the Sister Wives story. Robyn's greed didn't just destroy the family, it ended the very concept of shared luxury and partnership that made the show compelling in the first place. One thing is for certain, as TLC considers the franchise's future, Robyn's reign is over. The new narrative belongs to the women who left everything behind and still came out stronger. The real Sister Wives aren't the ones who stayed for comfort, they're the ones who left for freedom. Fans have recently seen Gwendolyn Brown and Beatrice Carras of Sister Wives fame enjoying time together during a recent milestone. Since then, however, fans have also noticed a change in BEA's appearance. Thanks to this, fans are wondering if there is an underlying reason for it.